Hi, my name is Rebecca and welcome to my channel. Happy New Year. It is going to be a fabulous new year. I can feel it in my bones and I am so excited for what this new year has to bring. I was asked a funny question today. It really wasn't all that funny. It was just, I was asked if I made any New Year's resolutions. I'm one of those weird little people who do not make New Year's resolutions. I get up every day. I try to do the very best that I can. I try to be consistent in my walk with Christ, and I try to live each day as if I'm not going to have tomorrow. So I don't make resolutions. I just try to make sure every day that I am an example and I'm pleasing to the Lord. That being said, there's some days when I feel like I nail it, and then there's some days when I know I fail it, and that's just when I just have to pray through about it and wake up the next day and try to do better. So, no New Year's resolutions for me. I have been, however, crafting, and I have been doing some winter crafts. So, come craft with me. Let me show you what I did. Back in the fall, I went home to Indiana, and I was at the Marshall County Blueberry Festival. One of the booths had this cute, darling little snowman hanging in it. It was marked $16.95. I had purchased these wood rounds at the Dollar Tree, and I immediately thought I can recreate that. So I put some white acrylic paint on with a sponge brush. I just put a very light coat because I did want it to look a little rustic, and I did want that wood tone to kind of show through just a little bit. And I just gave it a really light coat of the white acrylic paint. I have noticed the past few years that when you go to the festivals and you go to arts and craft shows, that a lot of times what you're seeing look like handmade items, but if you look at them very close, they are mass produced, and you might even find a made in China sticker stamped on them. So I was trying to recreate this. I took a little bit of red acrylic paint and I just started dabbing it around the edges, and I kept referring back to the picture for inspiration to figure out how far up I needed to go, and if I needed to give this little paint job, this little dusting that I was doing, a round overall coat. And so I just dusted the red paint kind of around the edges, concentrating around the edges, and then I took my sanding sponge and I started sanding it so that the paint and the wood would start showing through just a little bit. And if it was darker than then that would even it out and it would fix it. I had some paint stir sticks in my craft stash, and I thought that this would be perfect to make the nose. So I just took my miter shears and I kind of eyeballed where I wanted the little point to be. It gave me a little bit of a problem. These stir sticks are very strong and they're very sturdy, but I managed to get it cut through, and I have a little sharp pointed nose. I did want it to look a little bit rustic, but I didn't want to get a splinter when I was hanging this up. So I took my sanding sponge again and I went along the edges, and I made sure that it was a little bit more smooth, and I even went down the sides of it just a little bit. Once I had it all sanded and kind of sort of smooth, then I went in with my acrylic paint and I used red. I can't really tell you exactly what color this is because I bought the paint set at Ross's and it did not have colors on there, so I just picked out a color that I thought was pleasing and sort of kind of similar to the inspiration piece. And then it was just a little bit too red, so I took a little bit of orange and I just kind of dabbed that over the red to kind of make it a little bit less red and have a little bit more of an orange tint to it. And I took my black acrylic paint and I just kind of paid attention to the edges, and I went into the center and I just dabbed a little bit of the black paint on there to make it look a little bit rustic. The inspiration piece had a lot of wood tone showing through it, so I took my sanding sponge and I just went ahead and I kind of sanded the nose, and I got a little bit of that darker paint knocked off, and then I just hot glued it where the nose needed to be in the middle of my wood round. I made sure it was nice and set before I moved on to the next little project, which would be the mouth and the eyes. So I took my black acrylic paint and I took this round dauber that I purchased at the Dollar Tree. And it comes in 3 different sizes. So I picked out the middle size. And then I just started daubing 4 little dots for the mouth and 2 little dots on the top for the eyes. And I made sure that they were kind of close together on the top. Now I decided to keep the string in, the twine in the hole, so that I would have a guide on how far I needed to measure the wire, the florist wire. And I did double it up and I poked it through, because sometimes when you're working with the wire and you're trying to create a hanger, you don't want it too long or too short. So I kind of left the twine in there just to kind of give me a little bit of a guide. And I just took the florist wire, and it is doubled, and I just kind of made curly cues around the end of the wire with a pin, and just kind of left it open and just a little bit rugged looking. And then I pulled the wire around on the other side, and then I felt comfortable taking the twine out, so I pulled that loose, and then I just fed the other end of the florist wire through the other hole. And I did the same thing. I just kind of crinkled it up so that it would look old and kind of worn, and then I poked it through, and I started winding it around my pin, and that is what is going to hold it onto the wood round. I made sure that my loops were kind of cinched in around the hole so that it wouldn't pull through, and my little decor piece wouldn't come falling down. And then I had the hanger all set for my little snowman wood round. I don't even know how to judge how much I have in this project. This ribbon I thought kind of matched the decor that I was going with for winter, and so I just did a little shoelace bow and tied that around the wire just to give it just a little bit of character. And so I have $1.25 in the wood round, and then I just had the paint sticks. So I'm thinking that this project could probably be recreated for around $5. That would be a very good conservative number. If you did not have the paint stir sticks, you could also use the big craft sticks that they sell at the Dollar Tree as well. That would work out just nicely, but I had the paint stir sticks, and so I thought I would use it. And I don't know, I just have random stuff laying around, and sometimes I feel like I just need to use it up. This is how it turned out. It is really cute. It's an awful lot like the inspiration piece, and I made it for less than $5. The inspiration piece was $16.95. Mine is handcrafted, and theirs was made in China. So thank you so much for being a supporter of my channel and for coming along and watching me create something. I have a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of stuff in this new year coming up, because like I said, I craft with a purpose for work and home, and I try to do it on a budget. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video. Give me a thumbs up. Welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you so much for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos.